Hi, welcome. This is Hanoch in Tekoa. This is the week of Parshas Beshalach, the end of January 2022, 23, sorry. And I wanted to talk about some of the events of the past weeks. This is Sunday night. On Friday night there was a attack in a shul in Yerushalayim in the Neve Yacov neighborhood. And a number of people were killed there, our precious brothers and sisters. And there's really not much to say except that it's always sad when some lunatic goes and kills people. But the question we have to ask ourselves is, how can we prevent or minimize the number of lunatics, particularly here in Israel, among the Arab residents of Israel, who are taking guns or knives or what have you and trying to kill people. And I don't have any pat answers to that question, of course, but I think what's obvious is that people who do this, like this 21-year-old who did this on Friday night, they do this in a culture that, not all the culture, but some of the culture supports them in doing that. And because, there are people like the people who shoot up schools in America and stuff that are just crazy. And these people may be certainly a little bit just crazy also, but they have an excuse to be crazy, so to speak, when they encounter the hatred of another group of the Jews, of the Israelis in their culture. And I think the only way to lessen that is not, heaven forbid, to separate the cultures more, but to integrate them more. Thank goodness we have a fairly integrated society already, the Jews and Arabs here in the land of Israel. But any attempt to make a separate Arab area, Arab state, Arab autonomy, what have you, only increases these feelings of difference. We have to make clear that every person, non-Jew, who lives in the land of Israel, in the state of Israel, and who wants to participate in the society here is welcome, as long, of course, as they don't make trouble. They don't do violence against other citizens. And to that goal, of course, it would be appropriate to close down the Palestinian Authority, which just fosters this mindset of us versus them, of their occupying our land, etc., which causes animosity. The Jews are allowed to occupy the land of Israel, and the Arabs who live here are allowed to be here too, as long as they participate as normal citizens in the state of Israel, normal residents and citizens. And so the more that the state of Israel has control over all the lands of Israel, and people are living in together in different neighborhoods with Arabs and Jewish neighbors and Jewish and Arabs neighborhoods, the more normal the society is, hopefully the less room there will be for hatred and for violence on the part of Arabs against Israelis. The second thing I wanted to talk about was the recent disqualification of Aryeh Deri by the Supreme Court to serve as a minister in the government. And a lot of the people, including the Prime Minister, Mr. Netanyahu, defended him and said, but so many people voted for their party, etc. I think I totally support the Supreme Court in this, meaning it is ridiculous that someone who just made a plea bargain for tax offenses should also serve as a minister in the government, in my opinion. I mean, he's handing out the taxes to everyone, but he doesn't want to pay them. I mean, it's ridiculous to my mind as an American citizen that someone who was in jail already, convicted of things related to his public roles, would again be back in politics. But that's an American way of looking at things. In Israel, it's a little different here for many people. And of course, that's a result of our party system. Rather than voting for individuals, we vote for parties. So the same people who support him the first time will support him the second time, even if he went to jail. So it's a little ridiculous. But of course, it was totally justified in my opinion. And I also think it's ridiculous this judicial reform bill that's particularly that the Justice Minister is trying to put through now, the override clause. It's important to have justices to be able to judge if the legislation meets our basic norms, and the basic norms have to be defined as part of a consensus where we sit down and say these are the basic norms by which the Supreme Court will judge if a law violates the basic norms of society. And that's very important for all the groups. It's very important for everyone to have the protection of a court to protect us from a legislature who might be voting for something that's against human rights, civil rights, etc. So that's all I want to share for now, and look forward to talking to you soon. Bye from Takar.